Welcome to another SkaredCast Battle Report. Today we have the new Tau facing off against the Dark Eldar in this 1500 point battle for the Michael Mudd Memorial Tournament. Let's get it started. Okay, so deployment. The Tau deployed one Storm Surge. It's 12 inches up, it's basically kill points. He's reserving a Sky Ray, deep striking unit of lots of suits to target, lots, outflanking crew, outflanking, Forge World, Tetras, little Firewire unit, 2 Riptides in a big unit with lots of interceptor and stuff. I've got my jet bikes and a Razor Wing in reserve. I elected to go first. He has Night Attacker, so there's no point in me rolling for Night Fight as he gets Night Vision. And I did get Labyrinthine Cunning for my Warlord trait. He's elected not to seize the initiative, and this is a game, so let's begin. The Dark Eldar moved up, fired a lot in the Storm Surge, and I got 4 wounds on it. It has 4 wounds left, but I didn't kill it. So we're moving on to the next turn. Tau, turn 1. We had the big guy move over, kill my Lamian because he doesn't want my 10-point character to be running around, and then destroyed my Ravager, stomped it to death. So now it is on to Dark Eldar turn 2. I have the Razor Wing to come on, and it will arrive, and I will keep it on. And I have the jet bikes to arrive, and they don't, and I will keep them off. So moving on to turn 2. Dark Eldar turn 2. Shot a lot at the big guy, the Storm Surge. The Warp Spiders took 3 wounds off of it because those monofilament weapons are fantastic against big creatures. They're like my main anti-Wraith Knight unit. And then the Warwalkers finished off the last wound after I shot with a Venom, and the Razor Wing, who got intercepted against and lost a hull point. And then I turbo boosted my tanks around, ready for the Tau Reserves. So, Tau Reserves, let's see what happens. Tau turn 2 Reserves. 1 glancing hit on that Warwalker, and then a lot of split firing, so the Witches and that Venom die. The Raider there explode, and that Raider be annihilated as well. And 2 of these Cabalites and 2 Mandrakes also fall to ignoring cover, buff, Mander, fire. So I have a unit of reserves to come in, my jet bikes, and I will use the reroll to just keep them off the table. And I do, -1 from the auto, so they are not coming on. And then the Sky Ray and the unit recruit did not arrive. So Dark Eldar turn 3. Devoid of transports, the Dark Eldar have tried to do as much as they can. The Mandrakes killed 3 of the unit of Firewords. They held morale. Soul Blaze fizzled out. The Grotesques moved and ran 2 inches. Shooting saw 1 wound on 1 Christ suit and 1 dead, and 1 wound put on a Riptide, and no damage done to the Piranhas with 6 missile hits that I got in on there. Other than that, we're moving on to turn 3. Let's see if the reserves arrive and what can be done. Devastating shooting. Sees both my Warwalkers die, 4 of the Cabalite Warriors die, 2 Grotesques die, 1 is alive with 1 wound remaining. The Razor Wing has taken a wound, another wound, and the Kroot have come on the table, and they have failed to do anything to these Cabalite Warriors. So we're moving on to turn 4, Dark Eldar. Let's see what happens. The Autarch ran in, charged the Tetras, supporting fire, killed his friendly helping Grotesque, and then he killed 1 of the 2 Tetras. Venom Fire put 3 wounds on this Riptide, and the Mandrakes killed this unit of Fire Warriors, while the Cabalite Warriors and the reserving jet bikes that reserved out of line of sight of the intercepting Riptides killed they all killed 9 of the Kroot. And then the Warp Spiders have moved up this way. They're just gonna turbo jump. Tau turn 4. The Autarch survived. He only shot 1 plasma gun into him, and he made his invulnerable save. The Mandrakes died to smart missile fire. The Venom exploded with the 1 penetrating hit, and everybody died except for the Warlord, and 2 from this unit died, while the Kroot died to Overwatch against the jet bikes. Moving on to Dark Eldar turn 5 could be the end of the game. We had the Warp Spiders put 2 wounds on this Riptide after that Cabalite unit finished off the last 2 wounds on that other Riptide. And my Autarch survived the Overwatch, charged in, killed a suit. The The commander did not accept the challenge, but the Autarch did take 2 wounds, and it is a tied combat. So we're moving on to turn 5 for the Tau. Okay, so turn 5, and it is the end of the game. We had the Autarch stay alive but put a wound on the commander. We had this Tetra go here. The Warlord died for the Dark Eldar. The jet bikes boosted on and took that objective, and the 2 Cowlights that were here died a horrible death. While this burst tide was the one that killed them. Wow, what a game. It's really fun. Tau are great. It's a nice army. So we'll be back with a end of game recap. At the end of the game, the Eldar have taken a slight victory. If the game would have gone on, the Warp Spiders would have been able to kill the Riptide. I'd forgotten that the Autarch Banshee Mask prevented Overwatch, so that other Grotesque would have survived when they charged into the Piranhas, which might have prevented a Piranha in the middle from getting that objective. But all in all, they did get Warlord, they did get the last kill of the game, and they got 1 more objective than I do. So by an extra 2 points, it was a Tau victory. What a fantastic game. Make sure you check down below for all the links to the different channels. Support the channel on Patreon if you'd like. We're playing at Black Knight Games in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. And stay tuned for the Tactical Corner, where we talk about tactical stuff that happened in-game. This is Skari, your grateful host, signing off till next time. Hello and welcome to the next Tactical Corner. We have 1500 points of Dark Eldar facing off against 1500 points of Tau. We were practicing for the Michael Mudd Memorial Tournament, and I was very excited to play against the new Storm Surge. It's a pseudo-Highlander style event, so you couldn't really have duplicates of units, but the squadrons of Riptides with split fire and the Tetras really meant that I was in for a tough game. The game was going to be determined by maneuver and shooting. Tau, especially the new Tau, they continue to do what they do best, which is completely annihilate units in the shooting phase. Now, my first 2 turns, I had a fantastic chance at destroying the Storm Surge, and I put a lot of wounds on it turn 1 and baited it with the Ravager to move it around the line of sight blocking piece of terrain, which meant that he was only able to really shoot me with the weapons that ignored line of sight. Largely negating the damage output that it was able to do. And then on turn 2, just quickly finishing it off. Now, I didn't get into as good position as I could have on turn 2 with my units, and his reserves came on quite strongly. The little unit of Crisis Suits with the Buffmander really did some work, as they had, the ability to split fire, they had all the bonuses from the Buffmander, so destroying my mobility completely. And of course, he was trying to immobilize his Tetras in the terrain. The reason he was trying to do this is to be able to abandon the Tetras and create separate units of Markalites. So that did come into play later, as one of the Tetras did indeed immobilize itself. Just smart little tactical move there that I don't feel a lot of people would think of, especially in a Highlander style event where you can only take 1 of a certain kind of units. So I put a lot of pressure on his firebase and put a lot of shooting down. My Grotesques and Autarch soaked up pretty much the entirety of the Tau shooting for a few turns. And eventually my Autarch got into close combat with the big unit of Crisis Suits. Now, I had completely forgotten about the Banshee Mask, which meant that the Autarch and the Grotesque would have been charging into the Tetras, and I would have hopefully destroyed them. Other than that, I played to the objectives and to the mission, and I was really hoping for a 6th turn, as he only had 1 Riptide left at the end of the game, and my Autarch was in combat with his suits,
preventing them from doing any outside damage. Now, my warp spiders were once again MVPs of the game, just moving around, killing, getting out of line of sight when being shot at. They were all in all fantastic armies. I really like this list that I've put together for the Michael Mudd Memorial. And all the play tests have shown that it's quite versatile, especially when put together. It doesn't look like much at first sight because it's kind of ad hoc and, you know, slapped together. But all in all, the tactical use of all the different components put together make for a very nasty list. Tau are just as good as they always have been. Didn't really get to see like any of the new units like breaches and whatnot, but the Storm Surge, scary sight to behold, and 2 of them in 1 unit would probably do some work. Quite nasty. But that's all I have for the Tactical Corner. Thanks a lot to the patrons. Check the links down below, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more content. Skari out.